What made your teacher give up on a stupid rule? My teacher, Mr. Ramsey, stopped his lecture and stared at me. Is that GUM? Everyone held their breath as he marched over to me. Are you eating in my class? It's just chewing gum, sir. Just gum? He took the packet from me and stuffed it into his pocket. If you're going to eat in class, you must bring enough for everyone to share. We are all about equality here. Now, please, spit out the gum you have into the trash can so we may continue our wonderful lecture on the Great Industrial Revolution. The whole class laughed because everyone knows that line. It's what teachers say when they want you to stop eating. And it always works because nobody was insane enough to actually bring enough to share. So of course I had to do it. The next day, I showed up with a giant box of chewing gum, 30 packs of Trident Spearmint. Before Mr. Ramsey arrived, I placed a pack on each desk while each person grinned at me with the same, "Oh, you crazy ogre" kind of look. When he walked in, all 30 of us were chewing gum, smacking annoyingly all at once. What's going on? Sir, you said we could eat in class if I brought enough to share. So I'm sharing. This isn't what I meant, but it's what you said. He couldn't argue with that. And with that, the entire class became inspired to use the rule to their advantage. My classmate Rosemary, whose dad had a food truck, brought in 30 tiny burgers. The smell filled the room, and I swear I heard Mr. Ramsey's stomach grumble. No burgers, no sandwiches. This is a place of learning. Since we weren't allowed finger food anymore, Benedict brought his mom's rice cooker and 30 pieces of fried chicken legs, all packed in rectangular containers. The smell made students from other classes peek through the door window. Mr. Ramsey looked annoyed. This has gone on long enough. Do not bring any more food from home. You hear me? Honestly, he should have been more careful with his words, but it's not like he could really complain about his own rule. Plus, ever since we started this sharing is caring policy, our attendance has practically been perfect. Our tech scores were the highest they'd been all year. Even the kids who usually slept through class managed to stay awake the entire time. Even people outside of class wanted to sit in on his lectures. We felt unstoppable. So we pulled one last trick to really prove a point. Although it wasn't exactly something we planned, it just sort of happened. Each student somehow got the bright idea of bringing in their own kitchenware and literally cook the meals in class. I'm talking electric stoves, air fryers, cotton candy machines, coffee makers, even one of those hand crank machines that make fresh pasta. The classroom looked like a cooking show, but then again, since the new rule was no food from home, it only made sense that we'd do something reckless like this, right? Mr. Ramsey entered the room and saw the chaos. He closed his eyes and just stepped out of the room for a moment, too speechless to even get angry at us. He walked back in pretending we weren't even there anymore and just proceeded with his lecture. The smell in the class got so overwhelmingly intense that the principal stopped in the hallway and actually entered the room to grab a bite. He stayed, listening to the presentation while stuffing food into his mouth. This is actually quite productive, he said with his mouth full of pancakes. The engagement level is remarkable. Mr. Ramsey stood there watching his boss eat pancakes in his classroom with his students with a face of defeat. The next Monday, Mr. Rodriguez showed up early and stood by the door with his arms crossed. New rule. You can bring food, but eat it discreetly. No cooking, no grills, no turning my classroom into a restaurant. If you agree, you may enter. One by one, we walked in to see a surprise waiting. 30 pizza boxes on his desk. I bought enough to share. Everyone laughed. Even Mr. Ramsey smiled.